Welcome back, wonderful humans. I'm Danielle, and this week was my birthday week, so it's safe to say that trying to shift towards healthier meals whilst remaining on a budget went greatly out the window. On Saturday, we headed to York, had blueberry scone and a mocha for breakfast at a local little cafe before heading around the museum. And then we went to Forest down on Petersgate for some fish, chips, mushy peas, and onion rings. There was a little bit of tartar sauce there as well. This was super delicious, and I'll pin a little thing for the little review of it that I did as well. Then we decided that we wanted a little bit of ice cream, so we went to Amarina and I had this salted caramel ice cream there. It was super creamy and delicious, but obviously, as you can imagine, all I know is that this was way over the recommended amount of calories, and I decided not to even attempt to calculate it on to Sunday, and I just had some of the Warburton's fruit loaf and a bit of margarine for breakfast. Again, I probably shouldn't have necessarily had this, but I didn't want to end up being over hungry because then we headed into Leeds and went to the Royal Armouries, and by then it was already sort of 2ish by the time we ended up going to Prime Minister for what ended up being a combination of lunch and dinner for a bit of a milkshake alongside some pork scratchings, baby sausages, padron peppers, and I went for a steak and blue cheese pie with a bit of mash, obviously Yorkshire pudding, and some cubed vegetables alongside it as well. Monday was a lot more of a normal day on the calorie front. Tried to sort of recover it a little bit without sending my body completely the opposite way. So again, just had some more of that Warburton's fruit loaf with some margarine for breakfast. For lunch, we had some leftover custard that I didn't want to go to waste. So I had that with some chopped up nectarines and apple slices for the lunch, which, like I say, not necessarily the best thing, but I didn't want the custard to go to waste. For dinner, I made a creamy chicken spaghetti. And as you can see, I topped it with a little bit of basil to make me feel a bit more fancy. So Monday's calories came in at 1,642 calories, especially because of the fact I decided to have some cheese balls and one of those mint poppet cookies for a snack along the way, even though I almost certainly didn't need them. Tuesday was my birthday, so I'm going to pretend that calories don't count on birthdays, but we all know that they very much do. I also didn't want to end up being too hungry by the time that the evening came, especially with working during the day. So I had some more of that bread turned into toast for breakfast. We had some leftover taco things, so I popped that all onto a wrap and had that as well. Then for dinner, we went to Panda Mammy in Wakefield, which is an all-you-can-eat sort of buffet with a variety of different foods in there. As you can see, I had quite a lot of different things along the way, including a lot of beige things for starters. Had a couple of mocktails as well, including a green panda and then an apple mojito. Both of these were super sweet but tasty. And as you can see, I definitely had a lot of desserts, but just put it all together, one super large slice of birthday cake. At least that's what I'm trying to tell myself. So one of the lines, I decided that I was going to need some snacks of some more cheese balls as well. But Tuesday was a wonderful day. On Wednesday, had ended up deciding that I wasn't particularly hungry for breakfast, as you can imagine. Had a pretty small lunch, had some of the carrots, some breadsticks, and some sour cream, and had some scampi fries along the way as well. Dinner, I ended up having a chicken salad roll from Greg's, and I had a free baked item, so I got a lamb and brown muffin as well. For breakfast on Thursday, I ended up deciding to have a bit of a little pink ring iced donut. Lunch was a quick one at my work desk of tzatziki and tortilla chips, which contributed towards the 1,734 calories that day. Because for dinner, I made some halloumi, vegetable, and tomato couscous as well. And again, continuing that theme of topping things with basil in the idea of it's going to make it somehow look fancier. But then for snacks, I did have a couple of things as well that day because I wouldn't really call it a snack, but I had a Scotch egg. My partner had never had Scotch eggs before, so we got some to give a go, and I had one of those during the work day as well. On Friday, the last day to share with you for this week, I had a lemon yogurt with some frozen berries. I made this up, and then by the time that I'd actually got around to eating it at my work desk just before starting work, all those berries had pretty much thawed out anyway. For lunch, I had tuna mayo and cucumber wrap. As you can see, had some extra on the side as well. And don't worry, I didn't eat all of this, but then for dinner, we had some fish chips, batter sausage, curry sauce, and mushy peas from the local chip shop as well. And for a snack, I had a couple of leftover slices of pepperoni as well. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please consider commenting, liking, and subscribing to see more next time.